Hey guys, before we get into this video, just a quick heads up. The Last of Us Complete Remastered, Reimagined, Uncut, Deluxe Director Sneak Peek, Definitive Reissue, Ultra HD Game of the Year, Naughty Dog Platinum Redux Edition is officially out. It includes everything: the original game, the remaster, the remake, the behind the scenes footage of the remake of the remaster, plus a slightly shinier flashlight mechanic. By the way, did you guys know that men are bad? Yep, the reason why it's taken me a couple of days to make this video is because I've been reflecting. Just a quick disclaimer though, if you're one of those people who hates on the story because there's gay people, or if you're racist or any bigot of any kind, this video is not your safe space. Do not comment that nonsense down below because I do not agree with you. I just don't like the story based on the merits that it's not very well put together. So don't get it twisted. Now I'll admit, I was locked into this episode for a good 10 to 15 minutes, and that's being generous considering half of that was the recap and the intro. But hey, I'm not here to hate watch. I want to give this show a fair shot, especially since I wasn't exactly in love with how the second game handled its story. I was hoping this show might fix some of that mess, and so far they've fixed the bad things and ruined the good ones. The original story had all the right ingredients to be even better, so I'm happy the show's already tweaking the structure, like having the context of the group openly talk about Joel taking out the Fireflies and planning to hunt him down. To me that's fine, but having Abby flat out explain how they're gonna do it felt unnecessary. We already know she wants revenge. What we don't fully know yet, at least from a first-time viewer's perspective, is how twisted or messed up she might be, and that's where the intrigue was supposed to live. Being angry is one thing, but going over the edge can turn the audience against you. Those of us who played the game, sure, we know what's coming, but even then, it would have been way more effective if Abby just showed up and started doing some truly unhinged shit, even surprising her own crew. That ambiguity is what made her such a compelling character in the first place. Well, depending on who you ask. In the game, you meet her and immediately sense something's off, but you don't know what it is yet. You can tell there's a reason behind her actions, but it's hidden just enough to keep you guessing. The show kind of scraps that. They don't bother with the mystery. Instead, they go straight into making her sympathetic. They want the audience to feel conflicted about her from the jump. And yeah, they don't fully reveal her motivation yet, but they give you way more context than the game ever did this early. Some people might hate that, but I actually don't mind it, mainly because I couldn't stand how much the game relied upon flashbacks to retroactively justify everything. At least this way, the narrative is more present focused. Still, there's something ironic about all of this. A lot of people who love the game seem to hate the show's decision to front-load that context, but that kind of proves my point that the original story was kind of all over the place. Giving us a bit more context early on doesn't ruin the story, it might actually make it feel more grounded. What it loses in mystery, it gains in tension. You're not just waiting for Abby to get her revenge, you're waiting to see when and how it'll go down. And that looming sense of dread, yeah, that's a really important element that enhances the experience, at least to me. What I really don't get is why they decided to change Abby's physique. Like, sure, this is 5 years before she confronts Joel, so technically she could still bulk up by then, and it could be a surprise. But Mason and Druckmann pretty much brushed it off, saying it wasn't important for the show because there's no gameplay element tied to it, which honestly just sounds like they didn't think twice about why she was built like that in the first place. I heard someone explain that Abby's physique was never just about looking tough, it was a visual reminder of how long she'd been prepping, mentally and physically, for that moment with Joel, and that actually changed how I saw her. It made sense. It was her obsession, her coping mechanism, her armor. So leaving that out, it kind of feels like a missed opportunity. They could have used that as a powerful visual cue to show what those 5 years did to her. Instead, it's just gone like it didn't mean anything. I'm also curious to hear what you guys have to say about this episode. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Do you think they improved upon things from the game, or did they make it worse? Let me know down below. Now, what really bugged me though was them cutting out the Joel and Tommy conversation. That scene in the game is significant. It's where Joel confesses what he did, and it's what puts the moral weight on both of them. In the show, they replace the moment with a therapist whose husband Joel killed, And honestly, I don't think it added anything. It stripped away a deeper layer of perspective. We don't even get to see how Tommy reacts to the truth. He just already knows. Off screen. Cool. Now, credit where it's due. I actually liked Dina and Jesse. Jesse looks like Jesse, acts like Jesse, and Dina is a likable, well-rounded character. Can't say the same about Ellie though, but I'll save that for later. The Dina and Joel interaction really worked for me. There's this genuine warmth to her character, and the actress just brings up softness that feels natural. That little convo between them gave some weight to her connection with Joel, and it lets us see a version of him that still has a good side, one that can sit down, crack a joke, and watch movies with people. I don't know why, but seeing him just be part of the community instead of a moody loner Ellie resents, it was kind of refreshing. The game never gave us enough of those slower, quieter moments with Joel. Here we get a glimpse of who he is now. Not some reformed house pet, but also not full-on wild card anymore. He's still very much Joel, which you can see clear as day when he's talking to Maria, and clearly not thrilled about how many refugees they're letting in. That survival first mindset is still alive and well. Maria does throw a solid reminder at him that he was once a refugee too, and I think that'll be the thing that shifts his stance and eventually leads him to inviting Abby and her crew to Jackson. Though I'm pretty sure Tommy says that in the game. Anyways, it feels like they're planting the seed for that already. Whether that's a justified change to his entire mindset, that's a different conversation. I do want to talk briefly about Jesse though, because I always liked his character since he's chill, he's got aura, but you can tell he knows what's expected of him and holds himself to a high standard. It is just the first episode, but I'm looking forward to seeing more of him throughout the season. Granted, it's not even that much in the game either. It's crazy what happens when you cast someone properly. Alright, let's talk about Ellie, because wow, she is fully in her girl boss era this episode. She took down a grown man twice her size, screamed that she's immune, and then decided it would be a great idea to risk her life and Dina's by running into a store like she's in a teen drama, not a zombie apocalypse. I love great heroine. Oh yeah, and Ellie's a great character too. And look, I get it. I hear the argument. She's a flawed character at the beginning of her arc. She'll grow. She'll change. Cool. Love that for her. But you'd think that someone who literally saw Riley die the last time she did something reckless might pause for half a second before dragging someone else into a shitty situation. Just a thought. And it's not even just the store thing while I have a borderline voice crack. It's her yelling about being immune. Like that's not the most dangerous secret in the world. And apparently, she forgot that the infected in this universe are drawn to sound. I swear to God, she must have forgotten what world she's in. In the original game, Ellie was mad at Joel. They had tension, but she never acted this dumb. She wasn't out there endangering everyone around her for no reason. She had her moments, but they were grounded. This version, she's acting more reckless and emotionally checked out than she did as a literal kid. And I know what you're gonna comment. Well, actually, didn't Ellie endanger Dina's life? Well, no, because Dina chose to go with, I was about to say Ebby, with Ellie, even though she knew she was pregnant. So let's not even make that argument. Honestly, she already feels like the same person who ditches Dina to go hunt Abby all over again. If this is the starting point, I'm struggling to see how her arc is gonna hit with any weight. At this rate, there's not much left to develop into. She's already halfway through the descents. The show also skips over two massive moments that should have been in there. The scene where Joel teaches Ellie how to play the guitar, and most importantly, the goddamn porch scene. You know, the whole backbone of the entire ending. The whole ending hinges on that moment and Ellie remembering it. Now, I'm not going to start foaming at the mouth just yet. I'm assuming they did film the porch scene and are just holding on to it for later. But if they drag it out until the very end and try to drop it on us in the final moments like, oh hey, yeah, this happened by the way, I really don't think people are going to buy into it. I didn't fully buy it in the game when they pulled that move, and if they do it here without building toward it, they'll have somehow made the ending worse. And don't even get me started on the fight scene she has with that guy. The writers clearly knew they couldn't even commit to it fully without throwing in some line about him pulling punches. Even with that, it's like, come on, spare me this shit. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say about this episode. I'd give it like a 6 out of 10. Nothing special. It starts out good and then I kind of get bored near the end, but I'm curious to see where it goes. Honestly, if I wasn't doing this for the videos, I probably wouldn't even be watching this show, but hey, at least it gives me a reason to keep going. If you're into this kind of breakdown and want to stay updated every time a new video drops, hit that subscribe button and throw a like on the video so I know you're into this kind of chaos. At any rate though, thank you so much for watching as always, and until next time, make sure to take care.